Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Friday, September 18th, 2015. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Now for the news in detail. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, yesterday, Thursday, September 17th, received 2 new garbage collection trucks from Omni Global. Delivering the opening remarks was General Manager at the NSWMA, Andrew Hendrickson.
Well, we are here because we have 2 brand new trucks, 2016 model, Kenworth, and one is small, it's a 12-yard, and the other one is 20 yards. And these were donated as a part of the partnership which has been forged between Alpha Omni Global and the Nevis Island Administration. So I would say that we are very happy to have them because they will make an impact on the service that we have grown so accustomed to providing. We are about to take the service to a higher level, and so we are thankful for these 2 new trucks, which will also supplement the provision of the adequate service which is required to keep the waste-to-energy program running smoothly.
Chairman of the board at NSWMA, Carlisle Pemberton, assured Omni Global that the NSWMA will take good care of the trucks and expressed his sincere gratitude to Omni Global for the donation. Omni Global representative Steve Hammond outlined the goals of the collaboration with the Nevis Island Administration and then handed over the keys to Minister of Health, Honorable Mark Brantley.
It's a great honour for me to be here as the Omni Global representative and also to be a part of the joint venture with NIA. We have come a long way since the initial meeting that we had some 2 years ago. Basically, our goals were to work together, and we wanted to take 2 aspects out of Nevis. Now, the 2 aspects, we wanted to bring employment, we are going to bring a clean environment, and also we are going to produce electricity without using fossil fuels. And those 2 aspects will be your sun and your landfill. Mr. Brantley, on behalf of Omni Global, as your partner in this joint venture, we are as excited as this project as you are. We look forward to a great relationship for years to come, and we are going to be the first in the Caribbean to show people the way.
Minister of Health, the Honorable Mark Brantley, accepted the keys to the brand new trucks on behalf of the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority and delivered brief remarks.
We are seeing a significant contribution and a significant investment in Nevis and in solid waste and in keeping the island clean and in greening the island and in ensuring that our credentials as an environmentally friendly island are burnished and that we continue as an island to be leaders in the region in this area. And so we have not just brought 1. We thought 1 was nice, 2 was even better. And to demonstrate the thinking that went into it, we have not brought 2 trucks of the same size. We brought 1 that's a 12-yarder and the other that's 20 yards. And the idea there is, of course, that we have many new developments and many smaller areas that the trucks have to traverse, and so we can use a smaller truck for those purposes. But let the public not feel that these are the only trucks, because we had 3 other trucks, older trucks perhaps, and so we now have the enviable position of having a fleet of 5 garbage trucks for solid waste.
The handing over ceremony took place at the Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority's office at Long Point. Earlier today, the Alexandra Hospital received a medical card machine and 10 new wheelchairs from the Republic of China on Taiwan at the hospital grounds. Hospital Administrator Gary Pemberton stated that the medical card machine will go towards the commissioning of the health information system at the Alexandra Hospital, and that will bring the service delivery at the hospital up to the level of where it should be. Delivering brief remarks was Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Nicole Slack-Liburd. She stated that the health information system captures, stores, manages, and transmits information related to the health of individuals. The Ministry of Health is pleased to enhance the existing HIS with the Ministry of Taiwan. She then gave an example of the benefit of the system upgrade.
Imagine, for example, that a patient has to be transferred to the JNF hospital for further care. His or her health records can be accessed electronically, with JNF having access to the same medical records that can be viewed at the Alexandra Hospital. As we move forward with the development of our healthcare system, we are confident that this health information system project will do its part to ensure that Alexandra Hospital and the Ministry of Health, by extension, live up to the institutional motto, "Caring is our commitment."
Resident Ambassador of the Republic of China on Taiwan, His Excellency Chu Wei, stated that the Taiwanese government will work with the Alexandra Hospital to develop the system.
Within the next 2 years, we will work with the Alexandra Hospital to development an automatic hospital computerized system that will cover service from the registration, doctor notes, pharmacy, laboratory work, management, and accounting. It is expected that Alexandra Hospital will become one of the first few hospitals to deploy the hospital information system in the Caribbean region.
Ambassador Chow then handed over the supplies to Minister of Health, the Honorable Mark Brantley, who thanked the ambassador and encouraged persons to sign up for their medical information card.
As Minister of Health, it is my duty to ensure that there are adequate technologies available to enhance services provided by our healthcare system. I am therefore very pleased to announce the implementation of the Hospital Information System, which is a product of an information communication and technology agreement between the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and the government of China on Taiwan. This 5-year project, which commenced in 2013 and will conclude in 2017, will see an upgrade in the pharmacy, outpatient, patient registration, and other critical areas in the hospital. You have just witnessed, of course, the presentation of the machine. That machine will be what we use to generate the cards. And so many of you, as a politician, I encourage people to get their voter ID card. Well, this is a medical ID card, and the patients will have this card now, and there's a bar, what do you call it? What's the correct terminology? Barcode. And once that barcode is swiped, the medical information becomes available. So just imagine that you can now have your medical history and your medical information on this little card. And wherever you go, you have this with you. So once the system exists, as the Permanent Secretary explained on St. Kitts, if patients come from St. Kitts to Nevis, we have immediately their records. If patients go from Nevis to St. Kitts, similarly, they have their records instantly available.
Brantley also stated that the health centers around the island will eventually be able to operate with the medical card, bringing the entire health sector up to date with the technology. In a celebration of the Ivor Walters Primary School's 50th anniversary, the school hosted an awards ceremony and banquet yesterday, Thursday, September 17th, at occasions. Principal of the Ivor Walters Primary School, Janice Whitaker Richards, expressed her delight in honoring the awardees.
This evening, we are delighted to have 60 awardees. I wish that many more would someday be rewarded for their efforts. So, I am making a special appeal to the Brown Hill community to have a reunion. You have produced so many outstanding persons who have contributed to the Island Federation and beyond.
Principal Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Palsy Wilkin, also stated that she was delighted for the awards ceremony and congratulated the school on its 50th anniversary. In his remarks, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Education, the Honorable Vance Amory, stated that the teachers, parents, and students should emulate and remember the history of the late Ivor Walters.
Everywhere you saw Teacher Ivor, he had his radio with him once he was not in school, listening to what was going on, searching for knowledge to impart to his students. And that is a hallmark of a great educator, one who seeks to enrich his own knowledge so that he could impart that knowledge to the people whom he was charged to educate and train. And teachers and parents of Ivor Walters, it is important that we remember the history. It is important that we remember the processes by which that history was created. The history of educating our people at the Ivor Walters, making them better citizens, preparing them for the world of work and the professions, so that they could lift high the banner of the Ivor Walters School. And so tonight we celebrate with you, and as Minister of Education, I'm happy to be part of that celebration. And I do wish that you will continue this rich tradition into the future and make the Ivor Walters School, or keep the Ivor Walters School, one which is revered, one which is honored throughout the education process in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The presentation of awards to the 60 awardees was done by Vernie Emery, wife of the Premier of Nevis, reigning National Carnival and Culturama King Oscar Astro Brown and Burnett Nutsy Thompson paid tribute by song. Chaplain Marcia Tomlinson invoked God's presence while the national anthem was done on pan by Didier Rohan. The chairperson was Dennis Brown, and the vote of thanks was done by teacher of the Ivor Walters Primary School, Bibi Markin. The 50th anniversary is being held under the theme Celebrating Ivor Walters Primary 50 Years of Holistic Education. Coming up after the break, we focus on the Gingerland Secondary School's patriotic program. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Gingerland Secondary School held its patriotic program at the school's auditorium earlier today, Friday, September 18th, 2015. The program was filled with various dances, poems, and songs from students and teachers of the school. Delivering the feature address was Pastor Ron Daniel.
In this GSS, we may have the next Prime Minister, or the next Attorney General, or the next Chief of Security for the Prime Minister, or the manager of the Solid Waste Department, or the person who decides to buy trucks and lease it to the Solid Waste Department. You may be the person in here that decides to start a mentoring group for young boys and girls, or the one who is responsible for funding for such things. You may be the one responsible for turning around our fortunes as a nation in mathematics, or the one who knows how best to deal with gang violence in our country. Whatever the cause is, you must decide now to see the unseen. Don't say it hasn't been done before. Decide now. You can be the change that our nation wants. I challenge you to see the unseen.
Here are some excerpts of the Gingerland Secondary School's patriotic program.
land. Let me know what them a talk about. Oh, when they say things are like that. When everywhere in the world has problems, everywhere they got. Easy no man, from your love change your land.
Division Ms. Sherry Truss, the Executive Secretary for Integral Development, Director General, Inter-American Agency at the Organization of American States, OAS, was the guest speaker at this year's Prime Minister's lecture. The event, which got underway just before 8 p.m., took place at the Sir Cecil Jacobs Auditorium at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The Honorable Mark Brantley, Minister of Foreign Affairs in the federal government, introduced Ms. Truss. He read a profile which chronicled Ms. Truss's achievements in the regional and international sphere.
What is not in her official bio, which I must add, is that she was and still is an avid debater and possessed from a young age the oratory of Cicero. She led the fledgling Nevis sixth form debating team to the Leeward Islands debating championships in her day, and for me still the finest speaker that I had heard at that tender age. She is multilingual, multifaceted, and multi-talented. She's the epitome of the modern woman, combining elegance, intellect, and charm in equal parts. Most of all, she's Nevisian and a proud Gingerlander. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pride and pleasure to introduce to you and ask you to join me in welcoming the incomparable Miss Sherry Truss.
The OAS official delivered her lecture on the topic Ways to Strengthen St. Kitts and Nevis as an Independent Nation and the Federation's engagement with international partners to enhance its global footprint.
St. Kitts and Nevis is integrated into a global marketplace that is constantly changing. Second, countries, regardless of size or level of development, must be prepared to act and to compete on a global stage despite major asymmetries among actors. Third, the emergence of the global south, the so-called rise of the rest, is shifting the traditional north-south developing world model. And among other things, this is creating opportunities for more south-south cooperation. Fourth, socioeconomic, security, and environmental challenges are increasingly transnational and transboundary in nature. This, of course, can make the challenges tougher, but at the same time, this also opens up opportunities for what I call partnerships of consequence. Fifth, a more integrated approach to development requires a reset very often in our own thinking. But we recognize that development right now cannot be measured merely in terms of GDP growth, but also in terms of access to and quality of education, housing, water, energy, income, and many other factors.
Truss also urged the leadership of the country to focus on youths and their development as it relates to the future of the country.
In today's world, really, a great education may well be determined by its capacity to inspire active, critical, imaginative thinkers. This has implications for what we teach, how we teach it, how we train teachers, and how we measure results. But when we speak about innovation in education, it is clearly more than just incorporating technology into the curriculum. It's more than just having computers. It means finding creative ways to improve the quality of teaching, to discover new ways of learning, and to engage students in the construction of knowledge, and to help build citizens who can find work and whose knowledge can be applied for the betterment of society.
The annually hosted event is part of the Independence celebrations and features prominent speakers from various spheres of influence from the Caribbean and abroad. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing the newscast this evening. Have a pleasant Friday evening and happy Independence. Good night.